जिंदाबाद अपनी MSO जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद.
National and historic rights to our own land cannot continue, and they know this. We know that the existential conditions for this entity, for the Zionist entity, is about to be expired. They cannot take it. Imagine if they, if they waged a war against Lebanon. Well, Lebanon has resistance there. If the resistance starts, launching rockets, and the resistance have declared this a number of times, that they have precise missiles targeting very sensitive locations for the Zionist entity. If this happens, do you think that the internal front, the Zionist internal front, can take it? It won't. They are afraid from the missiles in Gaza, and they can't get rid of these resistance groups in Gaza. Lebanon resistance is much more advanced than the Palestinian resistance in Gaza. So this route will actually lead them to a deadlock. They will end the basis of this Zionist entity, militarily, security-wise, economic. They wouldn't. Actually, this country doesn't have a chance to survive if the Americans cut their support to it. If the Americans, who are now facing a very huge and serious problems from within, the domestic problems that are rising up, not only economical, but also the democratic basis of this country is being under question. So the only solution for us Palestinians here, the time is with us, the geopolitical changes in the region and in the globe is in our favor. What we need is to continue with our vision, to fight for a one democratic state in support with the axis of resistance and in support with the international solidarity movement all around the world. I hope I answered your question, Shiraz.
I think it's something I would also take forward with you afterwards on a personal basis.
Yeah. Of course, we cannot forget the BDS and what the BDS is doing. They're harming, and we are working together with the BDS on this as well. Feroz?
Can't hear you, Feroz.
Hello.
Feroz is muting his mic.
Feroz, your mic is muted.
Feroz bhai.
Feroz, can you hear me?
He's
Hello,
muted.
Maybe he's in bathroom.
Oh, I can see him there.
But I can't see. I'm seeing you.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Feroz.
He's with us.
Okay.
Yes, Feroz bhai.
Can I some clarify, Amal? Amal, can I some clarify about India?
Suresh bhai, wait for that. Suresh bhai, we'll come to the India factor. We have Kishore Jagtap is spending, Khalid bhai, who's been a great supporter. We have Manur who's been to Gaza. They all have to speak. Kishore, please speak. किशोर भाई किधर हो? हाँ? अच्छा खालिद भाई आ
Yes.
जाएंगे.
Yes.
खालिद भाई, please.
I am thankful to India-Palestinian Forum, especially Kernar sir and Feroz Mitipurwala sir. I am great concerned about the annexation policy. Trump peace plan, peace to prosperity, a vision to improve the lives of the Palestinian and Israel people, a proposal from Trump administration to resolve Israel-Palestinian conflict. It declared by joint press conference held at White House along with Israel Prime Minister at 28 January 2020. But it is very surprised to note the conflicting party, the Palestinian Authority, not invited. In 2009, Netanyahu endorsed the two-state solution, but before 2019 Israel legislative election, he stated his intention of unilaterally annexing Israel settlement in the West Bank. September 2019, before Israel legislative election, Netanyahu announced his government plan to annex Jordan Valley when it won the election. He also reaffirmed his previous pledge to annex all Jewish settlement throughout the West Bank. The plan was authored by Trump's son-in-law, senior advisor Jared Kushner. His forefather, a USSR Jewish immigrants and West Bank settler. Palestinian leadership rejected the plan, biased in favor of Israel. There was two portions of this plan, one economic portion, another one political portion. In June 22nd, 2019, the Trump administration released the economic portion plan titled Peace to Prosperity, and the political position was released by US administration.
Hello.
Yes, administration in late January. Egypt and many other countries is agitated Jordan less responsive forced two-state solution pre-1967 line. Reaction among congressional Democratic Congress were mixed, through all leading Democratic presidential candidates have denounced it as saying smoke screen for annexation. Proposal benefits to the Palestinian from the plan are contingent on Israel and US. Condition demilitarization state to Palestine is neglected. Proposed Palestinian capital of East Jerusalem also neglected, and they put Sufat refugee camp, gang-ridden slum. Moreover, Israeli settlers denounced it. Israel committed that no new settlement on Palestinian land at least 4 years. US Ambassador to Israel, David M. Friedman, had said that the Trump administration has given permission an immediate annexation, stating that Israel does not have to wait at all. We are ready to recognize it. There were international condemnation of the proposal from Palestinian, Arab League, Saudi Arab, Jordan, Turkey, UK, United Nations, stating that any Israeli move to impose its administration over the Palestinian territory would be illegal under international law. So this is very dangerous. We have to think over it. Indian are always with Palestinian cause. Thank you, Feroz Bhai.
Thank you, Khalid bhai. Nice little present. I'd ask, is Kishore Jagtap ready, or then I think let Manur jump in and then we'll get Kishore after that. Manur has also been committed. She's from Hyderabad, committed. I believe she's been to Gaza as well. I'd request Manur to speak.
I don't know, there's something happening to my screen.
Same here.
You're here. I have a question for Amal. Amal, you talked about a one-state solution. What action strategies are being used within Palestine to convince Palestinians, or to get Palestinians to also sort of discuss and think about the one-state solution? Because there is a division on that issue.
Well, the Palestinian Authority, you know, and even Hamas, they're now having this strategy of two-state solution. So if we take the factions under the PLO, they are still working under this slogan, the two-state solution. But if you go to the people, you know, we have a crisis. We have a real crisis. Division among the leadership and the major faction, and the people. The people in the majority, they lost, let's say, they lost trust in the two-state solution in the 25-year falling or failed strategy. And what they want is, they want the refugees, for example, they want one thing, is to return to their homes, which is their right under all international laws and under the UN Charter, etc., and historic and national right. It's a must step for all refugees to go back to their country, to go back to their lands. And their majority, for example, we have 6.5 million refugees who are living outside Palestine in refugee camps in the surrounding countries like Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, some in Iraq, and the majority are scattered, and other people, you know, some millions are scattered in Europe and North America, South America, etc. These people want one thing, to return back to their country. The Israelis cannot afford this under the two-state solution. If they allow these refugees to go back to Palestine, 1948, to the 530 villages that were destroyed in the ethnic cleansing war of 1948, and the demography is a kill for them. The Palestinian demography, or the Palestinians will exceeding in numbers the number of the Jewish residents there. So the Israelis or the Zionists cannot accept to have such a threat into their demographic map, and they refused it. They refused actually to let in any refugees, although this was in the Oslo Agreement. They refused to let this to come back to their villages. So from one side, we have the Israelis refusing this, refusing to implement the Oslo Agreement and the two-state solution. And we have from the other side, the Palestinian Authority and the PLO, which still think that it is valid and they can work on it. Actually, now they are waiting for the EU to announce that they reject the annexation plan, and they will go directly to the negotiation table again. What we are trying is, we're trying to reach out to the refugees in Palestine, inside occupied Palestine, and to the refugees in the Arab countries and outside, to tell them that the only thing that can guarantee their right of return is our fight for the one democratic state in all Palestine. So we have started several steps ahead. We have registered the one-state assembly in the US as an official.
एक सवाल मुझे पूछनी है.
Because we cannot have a political party here. The PA doesn't grant new political party because they know that